Good morning, my name is Naomi, and today I'm going to show you how to do Neapolitan, which is a very simple dessert created by Michel Richard, or at least this is his version of it. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to take the phyllo dough out, and you're going to make sure to have it at room temp because it should be frozen. And it's very, very delicate. So when you go to unroll it, it might come apart a little bit, but that's okay. You should have a half sheet pan ready to go for this. You're not gonna grease it at all with any oil or spray. You're just gonna put the phyllo dough on there. So you're gonna put one sheet and try to spread it out as carefully as you can so you don't break it. And then from there, we're going to use our pastry brush and our melted butter. And for the melted butter, you just need enough to spread it on there. And then you just carefully go ahead and brush it on. It should have a nice. Now for this, I have already turned on my oven to preheat, and the temperature is going to be at 300. And then that should be on and preheating for about 10 minutes before you get started. So now that we have our first layer of butter on there, we're going to take our almond meal and sugar, and it's already mixed together. I'm just shaking it up a little bit, and then we're going to sprinkle that on there. You can go as light or as heavy as you want for this. This is going to be another layer of the crunch that comes out on this once it's finished. And this mix should be equal parts of the sugar and the almond meal. So you want to try and match it up as much as you can without tearing it. And we'll do the butter and then the almond and sugar mix again. Now before we put it in the oven, we're going to need to cut it into the shapes that we want. I have like pizza roller, and you can use that just to cut out your shapes. And you're going to want it to be a little more rectangular or square. So now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and put a sill pat on the top to help weigh it down so it doesn't puff up while it's in the oven. And if you don't have a sill pat, you can put a piece of parchment on the top and just use another half sheet tray on top of that. And then that'll go in and be in there for about 2 minutes with that covered. And then after, you'll take it off so it can brown and crisp up on the top very nicely. So now we're gonna prepare the creme brulee. And what you're gonna do is go ahead and put in your pot, in your milk, and then your cream. And if you have vanilla bean, this would be the time to add that. But unfortunately, I don't have that ingredient, and it's okay because it'll still come out even without it. So now that we have that done, we're gonna go ahead and put it on the stove and let it warm up. Okay, so now that that's warming up, we're gonna go ahead and make the second part. You're gonna put in your 9 egg yolks in your bowl. Inside. Then you're gonna add in your sugar. And you're just gonna whisk. Okay, so this is ready. So we're gonna set it off to the side, and then we're gonna check on our cream. I increase the heat on the cream, so as soon as it starts to boil a little bit, then we'll be able to mix these two together. So while we're And for your creme brulee, you should have an oven that is already preheated at 350. Now, for the creme brulee, you have to use a bain-marie, but if you don't have one of those, you can do this method as well. You'll get a half-sheet tray, and then you'll have your 1/8 pan, and you'll go ahead and fill that up. And you want to make sure not to overflow it. So about right there. Now from here, we're going to put this in the oven, but we're going to pull out the rack first because to make a bain-marie you need water, and it needs to come up to at least half of the 1/8 inch tray for it to work. But we're going to put this in dry and then add the water to it after. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did the plate up while the creme brulee and the phyllo are finishing. So I made some caramel sauce and put it into the squeeze bottle, but you can always go ahead and just purchase it and put it in there. And now this is going to make your presentation look better than trying to just freehand it, okay? So you can do any kind of design you want. I'm just going to squiggle lines. Oops. If you get a little too much, that's totally fine. You just go ahead and wipe it off to clean it up. So once you have that done, you're done with your caramel. And then this is some phyllo dough that I did earlier. And I cut up some pieces. So this is my base. I'm gonna put it in this corner. And this is my creme brulee. I'm going to cut this with my pinwheel. And for this, you're just gonna try and make sure that it's about the same size as your phyllo. And the best way for your creme brulee to come out pretty nice and firm, you can put it in the refrigerator overnight, but I find that is not always the best because it doesn't firm up the way it needs to. So if you put it in the freezer, that would work out better. I'm using a larger offset spatula just to get my piece out without breaking it up too much. And then carefully slide it on. And then repeat. So once you have that on there, with those two layers, you do one more top piece and then it's done. Oh, shoot. I just give it nice gentle pressure so that it comes out even. And to finish it off, I use my small whisk with powdered sugar and lightly tap. Doing this over the whole plate. You can also put fresh berries with cream, but it's a very simple dessert, so that's up to you. But this is Neapolitan, inspired by Michel Richard. Thank you for watching. Bye.